If tomorrow was a person, it would be the one who always promises and never delivers, always steals and never gives, always waits but never shows up. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a thief that creeps into our lives quietly, wrapped in the illusion of endless chances and better timing. That thief is tomorrow. It steals from us silently, taking the dreams we delay, the words we don't say, the steps we don't take. We live each day believing there will always be another moment, another opportunity, another morning to finally begin. But the truth, as raw as it may sound, is this: the time is now. Not later, not someday, not when things are perfect. Now. Ladies and gentlemen, time is the only currency you will never get back, and yet it is the most carelessly spent. We move through life convinced that there will always be more of it. We delay our dreams because we assume there will be a better time, a more convenient moment, a clearer sign. But the lie we've all been sold is that tomorrow is guaranteed. The most dangerous lie ever whispered to the human soul is, not now, wait until later. That one sentence has ruined more destinies than any storm, shattered more potential than any failure, and buried more greatness than death itself. Tomorrow is not a promise. It is a thief dressed as hope. It convinces you to sleep on your passion, delay your purpose, and procrastinate your progress. And while you believe you're playing it safe, you're actually handing over the keys of your life to a ghost that never shows up, never gives back, never fulfills its promise. Meanwhile, this moment, this now is dying in your hands, unused, unlived, and unloved. We keep telling ourselves we'll start when we're ready, but readiness is a myth created by fear to keep you stuck. The truth is, you're never fully ready. You become ready by starting. You grow by stepping in, not by standing still. There are people buried under the weight of dreams they never dared to act on because they waited for the stars to align. But life doesn't wait. It keeps moving, with or without your permission. And each day you hesitate, the world keeps spinning and your window keeps closing. There are no pause buttons. Every breath you take is a second you'll never get again. That isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to wake you. You don't need perfect timing. You need a decision. One powerful choice to no longer let tomorrow steal from you. To stop treating your potential like an afterthought. To stop shrinking for comfort and to start rising for impact. There is nothing small about your existence except the way you've been told to see it. You were not born to be passive, to be safe, to be comfortable. You were born to rise, to fight, to create, to conquer. But none of that happens tomorrow. It begins here. It begins now. People wait years to say what they feel. They wait decades to love boldly. They postpone healing, adventure, forgiveness, truth, and expression, thinking they'll get to it when things settle down. But what if things never do? What if the calm you're waiting for never comes? What if this version of your life, imperfect, unfinished, chaotic, is the only stage you'll ever have to become who you are meant to be? This isn't a rehearsal. This isn't a test run. This is it. This is the only moment that's real. Everything else is a mirage. You don't owe anyone an explanation for chasing your calling. You don't owe comfort to the voices that want you to play small. You owe it to yourself to wake up before it's too late. And yes, you will fail. You will get hurt. You will doubt yourself, but those things are far better than the slow death of regret, because pain passes, failure builds strength, doubt gives way to clarity through action, but regret, that's permanent. It haunts, it lingers, it becomes a shadow that follows you everywhere, whispering what could have been if only you hadn't waited. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to change everything today, but you have to change something. You have to start. Start small, start scared, start unsure, but for heaven's sake, just start. Don't let tomorrow rob you anymore. The clock is ticking, not in fear, but in opportunity. It's telling you that this is your chance to live like you mean it, to move like you matter, to love like it's your last day, and create like the world depends on it, because maybe, just maybe, it does. We spend so much of our lives waiting for confidence, for clarity, for someone to give us permission, waiting for the fear to vanish, or for the world to be ready for our greatness. But what we fail to see is that this very moment, the one we so easily overlook, is bursting with possibility. The people we admire, the ones we think have it all figured out, they didn't wait. They started messy, scared, and uncertain, but they started. Tomorrow is seductive. It whispers that rest today is deserved, that risk can wait, that passion will keep burning. But days turn into weeks, weeks into years, and before we know it, our dreams are just faded pictures we never dared to frame. How many chances have we already missed because we thought we had time? How many I love yous left unsaid? How many doors never opened because we never knocked? The time is now to believe in yourself, to heal, to change, to leave what hurts and chase what sets your soul on fire. Life doesn't hand out second chances with a guarantee. Each second you hesitate, tomorrow takes something from you. But each second you act, now gives something back. So do it, say it, build it, be it. The world isn't waiting, but your destiny is, and it's calling you today, not tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment when silence becomes betrayal, not just betrayal of others, but betrayal of the self. When you keep waiting for the right moment to speak up for yourself, to take that leap, to break free, you're not protecting yourself, you're abandoning yourself. Tomorrow disguises itself as mercy, as time, as grace, but what it really is hesitation's best friend. And hesitation, when fed long enough, starves your soul. How many times have you known what you needed to do, and yet you didn't move? How many nights have you laid in bed with a racing heart because your dreams were louder than your doubts? But when morning came, you did nothing. That fire you feel burning inside of you, it's not confusion, it's not immaturity, it's not foolishness, it's your truth screaming to be set free. But truth requires action. Passion demands pursuit, and courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision that something else matters more. This world doesn't reward intention, it rewards execution. You don't get remembered for what you almost did, or what you planned to do. Legacies are not built on drafts, they're built on completed work. Every day you think about starting that business, writing that book, forgiving that person, ending that toxic relationship, going back to school, standing up for yourself, and you choose not to. That's a day you handed your power to tomorrow. But here's the reality. Tomorrow never signed a contract. Tomorrow owes you nothing, and if you keep waiting for it to arrive with a gift in its hands, you'll die waiting. That's the raw truth we avoid. Time is not loyal. It only serves those who use it. The pain of discipline is temporary. The pain of regret is forever. And regret is not a punishment from the universe, it's a natural result of delay. Every time you know what must be done and choose comfort over courage, you dig a grave for your potential. Every excuse is a nail. Every not today is a shovel. Every act of avoidance is a handful of dirt. And before you know it, you're burying your purpose alive. The myth that your time hasn't come yet is the most dangerous narrative ever told. Time doesn't come. Time is claimed. It is taken. It is grasped with bloodied hands and a desperate heart. Waiting for your moment is like staring at a locked door while holding the key. You are not waiting on time. Time is waiting on you. The world is not lacking in opportunity, is drowning in people too afraid to say yes to themselves. You must become urgent, not frantic, not chaotic, urgent. You must become obsessed with now, because what you do today echoes into eternity. What you say now, who you help now, the risks you take now, they change your legacy. You do not need more time. You need to stop wasting what you already have. The great lie of productivity is that you need more hours. No, you need more courage. You need more fire. You need to stop pretending you're immortal. If you could see your days numbered above your head like a countdown, would you keep living the way you're living? Would you keep pushing your dreams to next month? Would you keep quiet about the pain you carry? Would you keep tolerating the people who dim your light? Would you still say, maybe next week? Or would you finally rise? There is someone, somewhere, who would kill for just one more moment. Someone who didn't get to wake up today. But you did. Not by accident. Not by coincidence. You woke up because you still have something to do. Something only you can do. Something that cannot be postponed. The time you have is not random. It's sacred. It's a gift with a ticking fuse. And every time you live like you have forever, you disrespect the gift. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not too late, but it can be if you don't move. The door is still open, but it won't stay that way. Every dream has an expiration date. Every calling has a cost. You either pay now with discomfort or later with devastation. So rise. Rise with urgency. Rise with power. Rise with unwavering defiance against the lie of tomorrow. Let today be the day you stop handing over your life to hesitation. The time is now. The time has always been now. You are simply waiting for permission, and I'm here to tell you, you don't need it. Ladies and gentlemen, the most dangerous place to live is not in poverty or conflicted, is in comfort zones, built on the illusion of tomorrow. There, ambition withers in the warmth of routine. Hope dries up under the shade of procrastination, and dreams die, not because they weren't possible, but because the person who held them was always going to start someday. You don't drown because you fell into the water. You drown because you stayed there, motionless, waiting for a better time to swim. There is a prison with no bars that traps millions, the belief that a perfect moment is coming. We think the right day will arrive where all stars align, all fears vanish, all resources appear, and all people around us will finally understand. But life is not a movie. It does not cue the lights. It does not play dramatic music before your breakthrough. You have to fight for your transformation in the dark, while uncertain, while afraid, while broke, while misunderstood. You cannot wait for clarity. You create clarity by moving through the fog. You don't wait for the storm to pass. You walk into the storm and build strength as you go. The lie that you're too late or not ready is the weapon tomorrow uses to keep you chained. Think about this. How many ideas have been born inside you but died in silence? How many times have you heard your soul scream, "This is your time," but you silenced it with fear disguised as logic? You were not born to survive. You were born to shape the atmosphere with your voice, to shift your generation with your action, to set fire to mediocrity with your example. But greatness does not knock twice. It whispers once, and you must listen. You don't get to rehearse purpose. You don't get a second draft of this life. The people you love will not be around forever. The chances that call you now will not keep calling. Life has a way of moving on without you if you don't show up. And when it does, all the dreams you delayed become weights on your chest. Regret isn't a sharp pain, a slow, suffocating pressure that builds every time you betray your potential. And the worst part is, most people never see it coming. It creeps in. Until one day, you look in the mirror and don't recognize the person staring back because they gave their life away one delay at a time. Stop idolizing preparation. Yes, skill matters. Yes, plans matter. But movement matters more. Momentum is more powerful than perfection. You don't need all the answers to begin. You need just enough fire to take one step, and then another, and then another. Purpose unfolds as you walk, not as you wait. Imagine how different your life would be if you acted every time you felt inspired. Imagine if you didn't just clap for others' courage, but lit your own match and stepped into your calling like it was your birthright, because it is. You are not too broken. You are not too late. You are not too flawed. You are not too anything. The time is not running from you, it's waiting on you to decide. Right now, the gap between where you are and where you want to be is not as wide as you think. It's one brave choice away, one deep breath, one commitment to stop waiting. Your greatness is not in the future. It is locked inside your present, but you have to show up, fully, fiercely. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, it's easy to think the world will keep spinning the same way forever. But people lose their chances every day because they assumed there would be more. People lose love because they never said how they felt. People lose opportunities because they never raised their hand. People lose themselves because they listened too long to the soft lies of comfort. Don't be one of them. Don't live a life full of what-ifs. If it's in your heart, it's meant for your hands. If the thought won't leave you, neither should your focus. If it terrifies you, good. That means it matters. You don't need a new calendar year to reinvent yourself. You need a new level of honesty. You need to stop pretending you're okay with waiting. You're not. Your spirit is restless because it knows you were made for more. So trust that restlessness. It is not weakness. It is the alarm clock of destiny, ringing inside your soul. And every day you hit snooze, you fall deeper into a sleep that steals your spark. But today you can wake up. Today you can rise. Today you can finally become the person who doesn't postpone purpose anymore. The time is now. It has always been now. Everything else was an excuse wearing a calendar. So write the book, make the call, take the risk, speak your truth. Start your mission. Don't wait for another sunrise to do what this sunset is begging for. Live like the clock is watching, because it is. Asterisk, ladies and gentlemen, there is a silence far louder than any scream, and that silence is the absence of action. It is the sound of your dreams sitting in the corner, ignored. It is the noise of your calling echoing inside your chest while you keep pretending you don't hear it. It's the thunder of potential never realized, of a destiny forever delayed. And all because of one lie that has woven itself into the hearts of millions. I still have time. We say it like it's a prayer, like it's a blessing, like it buys us peace. But it is not a blessing, it's a gamble. It's the biggest risk you will ever take, believing that the clock will keep ticking just for you. You were never promised another sunrise. You were not guaranteed another year, another decade, another chance to make things right. And that is not to instill fear in you, it is to light a fire so hot in your soul that you can no longer sleep on yourself. Every time you say, "I'll do it tomorrow," you are signing a deal with a thief, because tomorrow is not yours. It never was. It belongs to the unknown. What you have is this exact breath, this exact heartbeat, this precise second. This is your power, and while you waste it hoping for a better time, you forget that time does not respond to hope. It responds to action. Let's stop pretending that procrastination is harmless. Let's stop calling delay wisdom. Let's stop dressing fear up as caution. The truth is, many of us are not confused. We are afraid of what happens if we try and fail. Afraid of being seen before we're perfect. Afraid of making noise in a world that has taught us to shrink. But do you want to know what's even more terrifying than failure? Regret. The kind of regret that shows up late at night when everyone else is sleeping and you can't because you know you were made for more. The kind that burns not because you tried and it didn't work, but because you never tried at all. There are millions of people who would do anything to have what you have. Your voice, your ideas, your body, your access, your ability to think and choose and create. And yet, you throw it away daily on distractions, on excuses, on meaningless scrolling and conversations that leave your spirit empty. You keep looking for signs from the universe when your own discomfort is the sign. The fact that you are unsettled, unfulfilled, unsatisfied, that is not a curse, it's a compass. It's your soul's way of shouting, "Move now." But we keep covering that voice with noise, with excuses, with calendars filled with everything except our calling. Do not let your days slip by while you are busy waiting to be ready. Readiness is not the gatekeeper of greatness. Obedience to your moment is if you feel it inside you. It's meant to be acted on. There are people who need what only you carry, and while you wait for the perfect time, they are hurting, searching, and praying for someone like you to show up. Your delay is not just affecting you, it's costing lives, missions, movements. The dream inside you is not a personal fantasy. It is a responsibility, one that only you can carry, one that will die if you don't birth it. Stop asking what if I fail. Start asking what if I never try. You will never outrun your purpose. You can bury it under degrees, relationships, jobs, and distractions, but it will haunt you. It will show up in the quiet moments, in the sighs, in the unspoken sadness, in the feeling that you're busy but not alive, that you're moving but going nowhere, because deep down, you know what you were meant for. And no one can outrun the truth of who they are, but you can run out of time. So ask yourself right now, if this was your final week, what would you do differently? Who would you forgive? What would you say? What would you start? What would you finally leave behind? These are not morbid questions. These are urgent ones. They are the difference between a life that inspires and a life that disappears quietly. The world does not need more people who blend in. It needs you, loud, brave, bold, imperfect, and ready anyway. Not because you feel ready, but because you finally understood that waiting has become the most expensive thing in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't need more knowledge. You don't need more motivation. You need a decision. You need to walk out of this moment with a line drawn in the sand. A commitment that you will never again let tomorrow rob you of what belongs to today. You must become a guardian of your moments. You must treat each second like sacred ground. Because it is. You are not just wasting time, you are wasting you. And you are too rare, too needed, too powerful to be wasted. The time is now. Not after you heal. Not after they believe in you. Not after you lose the weight. Get the degree. Save the money. Now. This broken, beautiful, unfinished version of you is ready. Right now. And the world will not wait. So step into the fire. Move through the fear. Trust the pull inside of you. It is not wrong. It is not premature. It is divine. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, some people will live their entire lives inside a cage, never realizing the door was never locked. They will sit with greatness inside them, letting it rot while they wait for someone else to give them permission to begin. They'll sit in rooms they've outgrown, around tables where their voice is silenced, in lives they no longer love, all because they thought courage would arrive first. But here is the hard truth. Courage doesn't come before the leap, it comes during the fall. You do not find strength in waiting. You find it in moving, trembling, stumbling, but moving nonetheless. We keep thinking that the future holds our breakthrough, that one day it will all click. One day the fear will vanish. One day the opportunity will be clearer, the money will be enough, the people will understand. But one day is a myth. It is the mirage that keeps dreamers dreaming instead of doing. It is the lullaby that puts fire-breathing souls to sleep. It is the illusion that buries warriors in doubt. If you are always saying not today, what makes you think you'll be any braver tomorrow? You are not magically becoming stronger by staying idle. You are becoming more used to shrinking, more skilled at silencing your voice, more conditioned to settle. And if you continue to treat your dreams as optional, you will wake up one day and discover they are gone. There are people with half your talent, living 10 times your dream, not because they were better, but because they moved. While you were planning, they were preparing. While you were doubting, they were doing. While you were overthinking, they were overcoming. The secret is not in having it all figured out. The secret is in never stopping. And you have everything you need to begin. You always did. The only thing missing is your belief that you can, and your willingness to stop treating your calling like a side project. You are not waiting on a sign. You are the sign. You are the shift. You are the miracle someone else is waiting for. But first, you must become it. It is time to stop editing your fire. Time to stop apologizing for your intensity. Time to stop shrinking your presence so others feel comfortable. You were not born to blend. You were not built for average. You were not sent here to mimic the noise. You were born to be a voice that interrupts it. But voices only shake the world when they're used. And how many times have you swallowed yours, dressed your light in humility, and called it wisdom? That's not wisdom. That's fear with a mask on. And fear has stolen enough from you. Let's be honest. You've had moments where you felt it. That surge, that pull, that fire in your chest, telling you to move. That idea that won't leave you alone. That dream that visits you night after night. And every time you ignore it, it fades but it never leaves. Because destiny is stubborn. Purpose is relentless. It won't force you, but it will haunt you until you answer. And answering doesn't mean having a perfect plan. It means making one move. That's all, just one. And when you do something, shifts, the world rearranges, doors appear where there were none. People show up, resources arrive, but not before. The universe responds to movement, not to delay. You've already paid a heavy price for waiting. Missed chances, forgotten ideas, relationships that drifted, confidence that withered. How much longer are you willing to pay? Every second you hesitate, someone else is running toward their purpose. Every day you delay, someone else steps into the space that was meant for you. The stage does not stay empty. If you don't rise, someone else will. That's not competition, it's urgency. The reminder that life rewards the bold, not the hesitant. Ladies and gentlemen, you do not have to conquer everything today, but you must conquer the lie that says you can wait. The lie that tomorrow is safer, that delaying is wiser, that caution is noble. That's not truth, that's the lullaby of mediocrity. And if you listen long enough, it will sing you to sleep forever. You've been carrying dreams for too long. You've been holding your breath. You've been watching others live the life you want while you whisper excuses to yourself. But today, you breathe. Today, you move. Today, you choose fire over fear, truth over delay, courage over comfort. You will no longer sit silently on the sidelines of your own story. You will no longer be the background character in your own life. This is your page. This is your pen. This is your chapter. And the only way it gets written is if you finally stand up and write it. The time is now. No more waiting. No more permission. No more apologies. You were not born to be a dreamer. You were born to be a doer. So step forward. Take your place. Burn the calendar. Light the fire. And run like everything depends on it, because it does. Ladies and gentlemen, if there was ever a moment to rise from your stillness, to pull yourself out of hesitation and stand face to face with your truth, that moment is now. Not because the clock is more urgent, not because the sun is brighter, not because the winds have changed, but because your soul is done waiting. Something inside you is tired not of dreaming, not of working, not of caring but of holding yourself back. And it's not fear anymore, it's exhaustion. Exhaustion from watching yourself settle. Exhaustion from letting days pass that carry your purpose away with them. Exhaustion from becoming a person you were never meant to be. You've tried waiting. You've tried sitting in silence, hoping the answers would come. You've tried distracting yourself, numbing the urgency, telling yourself that maybe next week, maybe next month, maybe next year will be better. But has it worked? Has waiting made you whole? Has hiding made you brave? Has shrinking made you shine? The truth that no one wants to say out loud is this: life is not going to slow down for you. It won't pause so you can find yourself. It won't freeze until you're ready. It moves forward relentlessly, and the only way to catch up is to run with it. This isn't about rushing. This is about refusing to delay the parts of your life that matter most. This is about protecting the sacredness of now. Because every time you say, "I'll get to it," you are telling your dreams that they are not urgent. You're telling your gifts that they're not valuable. You're telling your soul that it can wait behind your obligations. But how many more obligations will you prioritize before you finally prioritize you? You've made yourself last on your own list for far too long, and every time you do, you chip away at your spirit until there's nothing left but quiet despair and quiet days and quiet regret. That is not the life you were born for. You were not given this breath, this heartbeat, this fire so you could walk in circles inside a comfort zone. You were not shaped by the pain you survived just to play it safe. You were not saved from your darkness only to dim your light. You are still here because your story isn't done. And if it's not done, then what are you waiting for? Start, speak, leap, build, love, leave, forgive, heal, try, whatever it is that keeps whispering to you in the middle of the night, do it. Because that whisper is truth, and it won't go away until you listen. And one day, if you don't act, it won't whisper anymore. It'll fall silent, and the silence of ignored purpose is louder than any storm. There will always be reasons not to start. There will always be bills to pay, mouths to feed, wounds to heal, critics to silence. But do not let life's noise drown out your own voice. Do not let chaos be the excuse you use to never create. Your conditions do not have to be perfect for you to begin. Some of the most powerful movements in history started in brokenness, in mess, in obscurity. They started with nothing but an unshakable decision to no longer wait. It's easy to say tomorrow. It makes you feel responsible. It makes you feel like you're planning. But let me ask you this: when will you finally look at your life and say, "This is the day I become who I was meant to be"? If not now, then when? When the kids grow up, when the money is stable, when your energy comes back, when everyone believes in you. That's not life. That's a slow death in disguise. The people who changed the world are not those who waited until they were fearless. They were afraid, but they moved anyway. They weren't certain, but they trusted anyway. They weren't qualified, but they dared anyway, because something inside of them refused to let tomorrow be their master. And now, it's your turn. Your turn to stop watching. Your turn to stop wondering. Your turn to stop wasting. Your turn to stop waiting for someone to tap you on the shoulder and say, "Go." No one is coming. There is no magical permission. There is no final sign. There is only this moment, and it is more than enough. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your rebirth. The moment where you bury the lie of later and resurrect the truth of now. The moment where you stop trying to survive and start choosing to live. The moment where you look in the mirror into your own eyes and finally say, "I'm done being afraid of myself. I'm done running. I'm done doubting. I'm done wasting another second believing I need more time." The time is now. Not when you're stronger. Not when you're smarter. Not when you're thinner or richer or braver. Now broken, brilliant, breathless, bold, just as you are. The world isn't waiting for your perfection. It's waiting for your presence. So rise, speak, move, begin. This is it. And if you embrace it, if you act on it, if you trust it, this moment will not just change your life. It will awaken everything in you that ever dared to dream. Thank you.